What's going on, guys? Parker here, and I'm back with another video. And today I got my top 5 NBA Prize Picks player props for the day. And before we get into this video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel down below if you are new, and give this video a big thumbs up, as well as leaving a comment down below on my video, because all those things really help me out a ton. And we're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, guys. So each one of you subscribing, each one of you showing love on my videos really does help me out a ton, and helps push my content out to more and more people every single day, and helps get me closer to doing this full time after I graduate from school and everything like that. So I really would appreciate that, guys. As well, I also have a free square for you guys to talk about today. Jalen Brunson has a free sleeper square going on today, so make sure to sign up for sleeper today and use code FF23 for an 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, as well as access to that free Jalen Brunson square. So make sure to go take advantage of that, guys. Obviously, it's 0.5 points. That's literally a free square. I know somebody's going to say, oh, he has to score 1 point. No, that's a free square. So go ahead and take advantage of that today. And make sure to use code FF23 at checkout. Really helps me out a ton, but it's also helping yourself out a ton as well, getting to both of us free money. So obviously, it's a win-win. And then really supports me if you enjoy my videos and stuff like that, because people always ask how you can support me. That's a way to support me right there. And then also, the link to that will be down below in the description. But yeah, guys, before we get in this video, we're on a 9-4 run with our NBA props, so we've been pretty profitable as of late, and we're going to keep that going today. I got 5 plays. I'd say 4 are like, I'm thinking lock, lock, lock. 1 is like pretty confident, but not like lock, lock, lock like the other 4. So really like these 5 plays, though. And without further ado, let's get into it. So this is my first play of the day, but it's also my favorite play of the day. I got Damian Lillard over 23.5 points versus the Suns. So we know all season long the Suns have struggled versus the point guard position, and that should not change today, as this is an ideal matchup for Damian Lillard here today. The Suns allow the 4th most points per game in the NBA to point guards this season. The Suns allow the 5th highest field goal percentage in the NBA to point guards this season. He's over this line in 2 of his last 3 games. He's over this line in 10 of his last 11 versus the Suns. Dame has absolutely owned the Suns throughout his career. He's got another matchup versus this Suns team where he should be able to dominate, because they're not good defensively this year. They struggle a lot versus the point guard position this year, like we've talked about all season long. We really have talked about this all season long, though, that the Suns struggle versus point guards, and that should be no different today. One of the best point guards in the league has an ideal matchup versus a team that struggles drastically versus the point guard position. We're not going to overthink this. This line will definitely probably be at 24.5, maybe 25.5 by the time the game starts. So we're getting great value here at 23.5 points. So Damian Lillard over 23.5 points versus the Suns is my first play of the day. Next up, I got Devin Booker over 34.5 points plus assists versus the Bucks. So the Bucks allow the most points per game in the NBA to point guards this season. Booker obviously plays the point guard position for the Suns, even though he's really a shooting guard. The Bucks allow the 7th most assists per game to point guards over the last month. Only a 6 assist discrepancy here. Booker averages 7.5 assists on the season. So a great matchup as far as that. Averaging 35 points plus assists this season. Obviously, he's going over that line. Take your guards versus the Bucks. We have an ideal matchup where Booker should be able to feast. We all know, take your guards versus the Bucks this season. That has been one of the biggest rules in sports betting all season long with the NBA. The Bucks are so bad versus the point guard position that should definitely continue tonight. They struggle drastically versus point guards. We have Devin Booker, one of the best guards in the league. He struggled his last 3 games, so great matchup here for Booker to get back on a hot streak, get back on a good trend, get back to shooting the ball well and everything like that. So really confident overall. I think Devin Booker performs really well, and this play is definitely a lock as well. So these first 2 plays, really confident in. So Devin Booker over 34.5 points plus assists versus the Bucks is my second play of the day. Next up, I got Tyler Hero over 20.5 points plus assists versus the Magic. He's over this line in 5 out of his last 6. Only game under was his last game with 20, so the only game he went under, he hooked. He's averaging 20 points per game and 4.5 assists per game versus the Magic this season. So obviously going over this line with ease on the season versus the Magic. The Magic allow the 5th most points per game to point guards in the NBA this season. Yes, I know Tyler Hero is a shooting guard, but ever since the Terry Rozier trade, Hero has been playing the point guard position, and Rozier has been playing more of that off guard role. Ideal matchup for Tyler Hero. As long as he can hit some more open looks, he should be able to perform. Let me look real quick at Tyler Hero's shooting logs, his last, I don't even know. It's like ever since the Terry Rozier trade, and he's still been going over this line. So he's still been going over this line. So I'll read you his last 6 games where he's gone over 5 of 6 games. 6 of 19, 4 of 9, 5 of 18, 7 of 18, 7 for 14, 8 for 18. If the dude just shoots the ball efficiently, he's going to soar over this line. He's shooting under 40% in those 6 games. I think he shoots the ball better today versus a Magic team that struggles defensively versus point guards. I think he has a good night. So Tyler Hero, over 20.5 points plus assists versus the Magic is my third play of the day. Next up, I got Jalen Brunson, under 32.5 points versus the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are in the middle of the pack in points per game allowed to point guards. It's not like they're anything elite in terms of a matchup for Brunson or anything. He's never over this line in his career versus the Grizzlies as well, so Brunson has never gone over this line. Don't think he's going to do it today. He's under this line in 37 of 48 games this season, so it's not like he's been covering this line at an elite rate all season long. Yes, I know OG Anunoby and Julius Randle are out, obviously. However, I just think this line is still so way too high. With most of the Grizzlies still injured, like Jaren Jackson Jr., doubtful, Derrick Rose, doubtful. Who else? There's lots of players out. Obviously, Desmond Bane's out, John Morant's out. Like most of their teams out. Conchar is questionable. Vince Williams questionable. All their good players are pretty much out or questionable. I think this game is going to end up being a blowout. This Grizzlies team they're putting out there is pretty much a G League roster at this point. And even though, yes, Brunson should be able to cook this team, I just don't think he's going to be on the floor long enough. And I think it's going to be a game where they double him a lot and he starts finding his teammates. So I think this is a game where Jalen Brunson has a lot of assists. So if you want to take his assist line today, I wouldn't mind that. But I just don't like his points. I think he's soaring under. And let me look. Even over the last 2 weeks, Memphis is still very good versus the point guard position, allowing the third fewest points per game in the NBA to point guards. So overall, love this line. Jalen Brunson, under 32.5 points versus the Grizzlies. Now, this is the play that I'm least confident in, but I'm still very confident in. The problem is Jabari Smith Jr. is just Jabari Smith Jr. He's not a star player. You know what I mean? So, if he shoots the ball terribly, there's a chance he plays 20 minutes. But he should shoot the ball good tonight. He's under this line in 3 straight games. He's been struggling as of late. We don't look at the first 5. This is why we don't look at the first 5. This is an ideal matchup today for Jabari Smith Jr. Pacers allow the most points per game in the NBA to power forwards. We know power forwards have absolutely torched the Pacers all season long. Pacers allow the 3rd highest field goal percentage in the NBA to power forwards. He's already played the Pacers once this season where he shot the ball 4 for 13 and had 10 points. If he gets that volume again tonight, I love this because I think he's going to shoot the ball just a little bit better. It was a rough night where Smith Jr. was just missing wide open looks. I think he gets back on track tonight. I think he has a really nice shooting game. So I'm pretty confident in this. And Jabari Smith Jr., over 11.5 points versus the Pacers is my 5th and final play. So like I said, guys, those were my top 5 NBA NBA PrizePicks player props for the day. If you did enjoy this video and you do want to see more content from me, go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below and give this video a big thumbs up because both of those things really help me out a ton, guys. And leave a comment down below as well because I really like to see when you guys comment. Also, make sure to take advantage of this free Jalen Brunson square over on Sleeper Fantasy today. And make sure to use code FF23 for an 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, as well as access to that Jalen Brunson free square. So go ahead, take advantage of both of those things. But yeah, guys, that's really all I have for this video. I hope you all did enjoy this video. And let's get another streak going, guys. 9-4 run. Let's get a sweep tonight. And I'll see you guys on the next.